What's happening, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at Forspoken and Tanta We Trust gameplay. And it's just a little bit of gameplay. It's just more like a teaser, but let's watch the trailer, and I kind of want to discuss it a little bit. So, let's go ahead and let's do that.
The gloaming, what does it do?
It destroys Athia, of course.
Alright, so hold on, let me look at that one more time. Early access begins May 23rd, so I guess that doesn't include me. I don't think I got the edition. I guess I'm playing it on May 26th. Anyway, so the main thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about this gameplay for the main thing. It doesn't look bad. This is a cool action sequence right here. I do wish that they showed a little bit more blood. It's an M-rated game, but like they don't show. It looks like she decapitated this dude. Nah, she just scratched this person, really. But, she impaled him too, so I don't understand why there's not more blood, I'm not one of those dorks that gets on there, that gets on YouTube or, Mortal Kombat or anything, and I'm like, where's the blood? I feel incomplete without the blood. Like, listen, man, I'm not 10 years old anymore. I don't need the blood. But I do want to mention a couple things here. This is an attack. I thought this was like a new attack. This is like a older attack, right? That's a Tanta Olas attack. It's just gold now. And I gotta ask, is this like a co-op thing? Because it seems like there are two characters playing at once, right? I think this move is new, period. Yeah, and that reminds me of Tanta. I forget her name. The water Tanta. You know how she has that water orb and it spreads out. It seems like I thought there was some new moves, and it looks like there are some new moves, but like there are some remix moves. This is a prequel, by the way, so either Frey went back in time, or this is somebody that's like Frey. You know what I mean? That's happened before in games. It's happened before in cinema. Yada yada yada. But yeah, check this out, man. This is cool. It's like some Virgil Judgment Cut type situation. Yeah. So you got this other character with you. I'm not gonna spoil who the character is. Yeah, see, she didn't use fire to grab onto this ledge. She used like some gold thread. So it looks like, since this is a prequel, I'm guessing, and this is another fire move. Since this is a prequel, I'm guessing that those moves just don't exist because she hasn't absorbed them from the other Tantas, right? And this move is just completely new. It looks like the other character did it. It's like some sort of black hole type situation, which I dig. It looks pretty good. Some people said that this looks better than the base game, and I'm like, it looks the same. It just looks like she's in a different area, And that's not like the most horrible thing in the world, The base game didn't look that bad. This area does look good, though. It reminds me of some of the better areas in Forspoken. But let's talk about the comments, shall we? All right. So let's see. I'm genuinely curious what the peak player count for this DLC is going to be. I kind of want to explore this comment a bit because this is kind of like a problem with modern games. Like, people are too concerned with the player counts on single player games, right? And if this is a co-op, hold on a second. Let's see. Anything saying anything about co-op? Because it could just be a companion that's really strong. Doesn't really say anything about co-op. As talking about the player count, like, I'm sure they're genuinely curious. I just don't really understand the point. And then this person says about 2, maybe 5 for streamers. People actually think nobody bought Forspoken, and it's actually ridiculous. By the way, let's look at the like dislike ratio. So more people like it than dislike it, but by a very slim margin. Like 848 people dislike this. Why? Like, there was no cheesy dialogue like, they complained about. There was just fighting. How is this like a bad thing? If you go to a Jedi Fallen Order video, I'm sure that it has like a bunch of fucking likes. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that, man. Let's see, Jedi Fallen Order. Okay. Full game 3 years ago. Wait, what's the newest one? Is it Fallen Order? Hold on a second. I'm just gonna put a new Jedi game. And I'm not saying that they had the same type of dialogue, but just looking at the action. Jedi Survivor. Yeah. Let's look at an IGN first, or a review. Yeah, here we go. Jedi review. 31K likes, right? And I'm just going to mute it, and we're just going to look at the action. My guy did like 5 flips. Because he twirls his lightsaber, I guess? I don't know. I hear this game is middling. And that's not to insult it. That's just what I've heard. People have said it's been middling or something. I don't know. But just a couple seconds of gameplay there. And this game is still getting favored by some fans, right? Like, it's not getting like a full hate mob on it. Now let's look at this one, right? Okay, enemies. We know there's plenty of enemies in Forspoken. We know there's plenty of platforming. We know there's plenty of all the shit we just seen. And even though that looked a little slow right there, it's not going to be that slow in gameplay. You know what I mean? I don't understand, like, what the big issue is. Like, for people look at this game and they're like, yeah, looks like shit. I don't want to play it, It's ridiculous. Now, there could be a couple of things. And as I've mentioned before, there's a lot of things to unpack about Forspoken as to why it's like a decent game and why people hate it. One of those things, I know it makes people uncomfortable, but, those people that are uncomfortable, like, literally are self-reports. Like, yeah. Some of them are actually racist. I've seen game channels like that Gundam dude. I forget his fucking name. He's fucking racist, right? He's racist. He's a conservative dude. He said that this character was going to be put in, and she was going to be there because she's a minority, just because she's a minority. And then there's other people that say other dumb shit they wouldn't say about other characters that say the same shit that Frey says, and it's ridiculous. Okay, I'm not gonna Google Translate this. Looks better than the base game, like a little bit, like because of the area. But come on, man. Luminous Productions isn't a thing anymore. The studio got shut down by Square Enix. It's Square Enix that's making this DLC. I don't think that's how that worked. Hold on a second. I think they just got acquired. So, okay, Luminous Productions is shut down, but they're rolled back into Square Enix. So that's not wrong, but also they're the same team. Yeah. Jesus Christ. The fighting style reminds me of Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Not even close. It's nice that you can feel that way, though. Very excited to play. I am too. Look at this dude. Freaking dragons. That's kind of funny. But yeah, sick. It is sick. Like, yeah, it's a dragon. You fight it. So what? And here I thought Forspoken had been unspoken for months. They said that this DLC was coming out like a month after, not even a month, like before this game, before the base game came out. They said DLC was coming out like sometime this year, and they said sometime a month or two after it came out, DLC coming out in May. I decided to give it a go about 2 weeks ago, and honestly, it has been a fun game and runs great on my PS5 performance mode. It did start getting boring for me, but it got much better for me after learning the other sets of magic. Definitely going to be playing this DLC. Completely normal reaction, right? Like, yeah, I understand. It is boring in the beginning because it takes a while to get to your melee set. And I talked about this before. It takes a while to get to the melee set, but the melee set isn't even like the most fun thing, right? To me, the last magic that you learn, which is the lightning magic or the illusion magic, it's the best because it's lightning and you can move really fast with it. You can create illusions. There's a lot of experimentation that you could do with it. There's a lot of experimentation you could do with Frey's original magic, but without other magic, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over, you know? So having those 4 spell sets is very important. Gotta respect the devs for continuing the work, even after the reception. Best course of action for this DLC would be to give Freya and Ahsoka treatment. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I think I'm becoming dyslexic. To give Freya the Ahsoka treatment. Give her some much needed self-reflection on how her bad characteristics create bad consequences and allow room for her to change. She doesn't fucking... Alright. I don't understand that. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Oh, you literally just described her already existing character arc in the base game. That's true. People really do over exaggerate that, and Ahsoka is bad on purpose. I don't even know who the fuck Ahsoka is. Hold on. Ashoka. Oh, it's talking about the character from Star Wars. Is that it? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. Stop relating Star Wars to everything. Let's see. Didn't think the DLC was coming out of nowhere. Definitely check this out. You know, it always amazes me like how much people don't pay attention to games. And that's not a diss on this person. People legitimately have busy lives, but it always surprises me. Like, I remember when DNF Duel said that they were going to announce something special in December. And they announced that like it must have been like a summer month. It must have been like August or September, right? They said we got something special planned at the end of Arc World Tour in December, or something like that. And every month after that, people said they're not doing anything. You know, It's like, come on, bro. You gotta send them a link to the video. Did I just do that? I did not just release a DLC. I just released a DLC from my game. I'm gonna win Game of the Year next. He's right behind me, isn't he? This is so fucking corny. Like, what are you talking about, bro? There's not even, like, any dialogue here. Like, that's what really upsets me about, like, some of these comments and the dislikes. There's no real reason to dislike this. Like, if this were, like, a game that didn't say Forspoken, like, if this was a Final Fantasy 16 trailer, right? And this was just some characters that you didn't know about. There were extra characters that you could play with, or something along those lines. Nobody would fucking be saying anything, bro. They'd be like, oh, there's magic characters in the game. Focus on magic. You know? And they move like this. That would be like the main thing that people say. But because it's Forspoken, people are acting like, I don't know. Like, the first trailer that they saw is indicative of, like, what the full game is. And don't get me started on some other people, right? Like, I've seen some reviews of the game, and I talked about those reviews. I talked about how stupid they are, how dude-bro-y they are. They're lazy. They're not really like coherent reviews, because they're talking about the character as if this character doesn't exist before Frey, right? And there's a thing such as being cliche, and that's fine. There's some cliche things and some of the best things that we like. You know what I mean? Like Metal Gear Solid, you think Solid Snake isn't a cliche fucking good guy? He's pretty cliche, man. He's a cliche, gruff, silent good guy. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But making a big deal out of this shit it's just so childish. And they wouldn't be doing it in a game where a character is white. That's all I'm saying. If the character was white, then this would be passable. But because Frey is black, it's corny. She would never say that. Yada yada yada. I just can't. I can't, like, with people in this game. You know what I mean? If they could pretend that she was Japanese, then it would be fine in them too. Because I know people they love Gravity Rush. She kind of reminds me. This game, Forspoken, is like Gravity Rush and Infamous had a baby in a sense, and that's the way I see it. And it's a decent game. What did I give this game? An 8, 8.5. I think I'd dial it to an 8 if I could change anything. I would say it's an 8. You know, it's missing things, but I mean, every game is missing stuff. Not all of them are perfect. But anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll let you guys off easy. Take it easy.